Is it for any particular purpose? Is it a hobby? Is it a research project? Anything like that?
I don't know yet at the minute.
Okay.
Just sort of flying around, see what happens.
Right. I understand an officer's just tried to have a word with you on the way into the car park.
She sort of shouted at me in a plainclothes personal car, so I didn't have a clue who she was.
Apparently you've told her to pee off.
Did I?
That's what she said to us. If that's the case, that's not acceptable, is it?
Well, that's why we wear independent witnesses that never lie.
Right. What do you mean by that? Right, okay. Well, yeah, I've got mine on as well, so...
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Can I take your details, just so we know what you're doing, and you're recorded on our systems, and we've got the fact what you're doing, and to make sure you're not up to no good?
No, I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not, like, sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
Well, I don't know until I speak to you. Do I? Until I take your details and check you through.
Is that what you do with everybody?
If you're being verbally abusive to people, then you have technically committed a public order offence, for which I would require your details.
Okay.
They approach him already convinced of a story that he supposedly swore at the sergeant and treat it as if it's a fact. News Now Yorkshire doesn't get caught up in arguments. He calmly cuts through it by pointing to his body-worn camera, clearly showing why independent recording exists. This is important because it immediately highlights the imbalance. One side has only an allegation, while the other has actual footage to back up their side. Then the situation escalates. When he refuses to give his personal details, the officers suddenly claim it's about checking whether he has any links to terrorist groups. But that's not a valid reason. It's clearly a tactic to pressure him. He stays composed, showing that documentation and calm reasoning can neutralize baseless claims.
So that's why I'm asking you for them as well.
Right.
So could I have your name and date of birth and address, please?
What, you think I've committed a public order offence?
Yeah, because an officer's just told me that you've sworn at her in the street.
Well, I need to get her to make that statement then, because she's lying.
Well, she's just told me as she's driven in that you've sworn at her.
Did she?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll be making a complaint about her then.
That's absolutely
fine. And if you
fine.
take my details, I will have to sue West Yorkshire Police.
That's not a problem. You feel free to do so. The reason I've explained the reasons why I'm asking you for your details.
What happens if I don't give my details?
Then you're potentially committing an offence.
Well, I will.
It's a lot easier if you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to give my details.
Okay.
I will if you tell me that I'll be arrested if I don't.
Well, potentially you may be. Yeah, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, because your name and address can't be verified.
Right.
And I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
What reasonable grounds is that?
But I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine.
Do you want me to show you the recording?
Not at the moment, but I want.
Because I could show you the recording.
I want you to.
And then you would know.
Details, and I've explained it to you. You've asked me to explain it to you, and I've laid it out plain and simple.
This is where their reasoning falls apart completely. They claim he's committed a public order offense, not because anything actually happened, but simply because the sergeant says so. When News Now Yorkshire asks what would happen if he doesn't hand over his details, the answer just loops back on itself. Suddenly, they suggest he might be committing another offense, which they imply could justify arrest. That's not how the law works. It's just recycling threats. Even when Section 24 of PACE is mentioned, it only makes the problem more obvious. An arrest can't be based on rank or convenience. It has to be supported by real evidence. In this case, the only proof they have is a colleague's word, and even after footage is offered that would clearly resolve the issue, they refuse to consider it. That refusal is important. When officers ignore evidence that could settle the matter, it raises serious questions about their intentions.
I don't think I have to give my details, officer.
You do.
I do.
You've been verbally abusive towards somebody.
I haven't, though.
She's alleging that you have.
I haven't, though.
As I said before, I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed a public order offence.
But I haven't.
Okay, listen to me. Because of that nature, that's why I require your details. And
right.
as I've explained to you, if you don't give me your name and address, and can't verify who you are, it may make your arrest necessary in order to ascertain those details.
Will you arrest me if I don't?
I'm not saying I definitely will, but I'm saying it may make your arrest necessary.
Am I being detained right now?
At the moment, because I need your details.
Yeah, I'm being detained.
Potentially, if you don't give me your details, you may be arrested, is what I'm saying.
No, I just want to check if I'm being detained right now.
I understand why you can't just give me your details.
I'd rather not. That's the point.
But I'm asking you to.
If I have to by law, then I will.
You do have to by law, yeah.
Okay, and what section of law says I have to?
I'm telling you that because you committed an offence.
I haven't, though.
I suspect that you have.
You suspect that I have?
I suspect that you have.
Okay.
I only need reasonable grounds to suspect. That's 2 to 3 out of 10 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I've got that reasonable suspicion.
Yeah, yeah. Can you let me know that lady's name or collar number?
She's a sergeant who was off duty at the time, coming into work for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Because
she's a police officer.
lied to you. Now you've threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, okay.
You go right ahead.
They corner him using a made-up excuse. If we can't identify you, we'll arrest you to identify you. That's not how arrest powers are supposed to work. What they're really doing is trying to get his personal details by turning arrest into a tool for compliance. The law doesn't allow arrest simply to overcome someone's refusal to cooperate, and it certainly can't be based on a single and proven suspicion. By that point, the so-called reasonable grounds aren't reasonable. They're convenient, and that's exactly why the threat is effective. Faced with this circular and pressured situation, he eventually provides his details. Not because the law says he must, but because the situation has been engineered to leave him with no practical choice. This is an important distinction. Compliance achieved through the threat of misused power isn't genuine consent. It's submission under pressure. It shows how easy it is for authority to be stretched when checks aren't applied.
I can't believe she lied to you, officer. I have got it all recorded though, just so you know.
You could, if you want to make a complaint.
Yeah, I will be making a complaint straight away. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I haven't got
Is that what she actually said to you? I told her to pee off.
As I drove out of the gate, she was driving in and she said, "Will I have a word with you?"
Yeah.
Because she'd spoken to you and you told her to, I'm not going to say the full word, but pee off. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying, but she's lying to you. You know that, don't you?
Well, if she's lying to me, she's lying to me. If it's on your camera, then you've got grounds for a complaint.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
but I'm not lying to you. I can only go about.
You know, last time this happened, I got £1,000 for it. You know.
Right.
Yeah. That was at Humberside though.
What was that? What was that in relation to though?
Because someone said I was committing antisocial behaviour, so the officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to gain my details, just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to gain my details. Okay. And then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble.
I haven't used Section 5.
Oh, what did you use?
You've potentially committed an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act.
Oh, okay. Section 4A.
Yeah.
And that requires me to give my details.
It doesn't require you to give your details.
You just told me it did.
What I'm saying, no, you're twisting my word.
The officer keeps hiding behind the word potentially. Potentially an offense. Potentially under Section 4A. That single word is doing all the work because there's nothing concrete to back it up. Section 4A isn't about a vague maybe or something that could happen. It requires real intent and an actual impact. Speculation alone doesn't trigger IT. IT gets worse because the way they cite the law keeps shifting. One moment it's one power, the next it's another, then something entirely different. That's not careful reasoning, it's scrambling. If a real offense had been identified, the section they rely on wouldn't keep moving around like that. And no amount of back and forth about these powers suddenly gives them the right to demand his personal details. It's all built on uncertainty and pressure, not the law.
What I'm saying to you is because I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence. Yeah. If you don't give me your details, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of PACE.
Oh, okay.
Because your name and address cannot be verified.
Right.
And I suspect that you've committed an offence.
Well, that's the full explanation. Thank you for that.
That's what I said to you the first time.
Well, I didn't get that explanation, so maybe you didn't explain it properly, and maybe I didn't understand.
Well, you understand it now, though.
I do, 100%. Yeah, yes. I can't believe she lied to you, and she's a sergeant. She's going around lying to you guys. Do you want me to show you the video?
No.
Is it because you know that she's lying?
I don't know that she's lying.
I think you know. I think you know. I think you do know.
We're literally just going off what we've been told.
Yeah, what you've been told is a lie, though, is what I'm saying. I could show you the video now and show you that she's lying. What do you guys reckon? Your personal opinion?
My personal opinion doesn't matter. I don't work. My personal opinion has to stay at home when I come to work.
Well, use your detective skills then. What do you think?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Well, yeah, I could have showed you the video.
To find out your version of events.
No, what you're doing is getting my details unlawfully.
Okay. I'm not. I've already explained to you the reason why.
I could have showed you the video, and then you would have no reason to get my details.
If you're happy to show me the video, I'm happy to watch it. It's not a problem.
Well, there's no point now because you've already given my details.
This is the point where any claim of fairness completely disappears. He keeps offering the simplest way to settle the situation. Just watch the footage. But they refuse. One officer even admits she's relying entirely on what she's been told, not on what she can see for herself. That's not assessment. It's blind acceptance. His side of the story isn't considered or compared to the evidence. It's simply ignored. They choose hearsay over real-time footage, protecting a version of events they don't want questioned. Only after they've taken his personal details does the video suddenly become important. That timing says it all. If the footage were truly relevant, it would have been reviewed first, not last. Watching it only after the fact isn't proper investigation. It's a form of damage control, designed to defend a story rather than discover the truth.
So I might as well speak to my solicitor now and get my £1,000.
You've offered to show me the video, then that's fine.
Yeah, and you'll see that your sergeant's a liar.
Well, show me it if you want to show me it. I'm not bothered.
Am I being detained?
No, you're free to go. Thank you for giving me your details. Just be careful where you're flying it.
No, I won't.
Obviously, bear in mind that side of the gate and the fence is private property.
Oh, no, I've already been over there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over again.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that you may be spoken to again by an officer if it's deemed that your drone's interfering with any police activities or anything like that.
All right, well, I've got permission to be here.
From
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, have you got that in writing? Have you got anything on you can show me to confirm that?
Do I need to?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you, am I?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you that your sergeant's a liar.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get drawn into this back and forth with you.
You've already been drawn into it.
I've spoken to you. I've ascertained what you're doing. As long as you're not interfering
what happened to the Section 4A?
That's fine. I'm not going to take any further action against it.
No further action?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know that she's a liar?
I'm going to give you words of advice.
No, I don't want your words of advice.
Right, well, I'm going to offer
you can stick your words of advice.
Right, I'm going to offer them anyway.
No, I don't want them.
The moment they get his personal details, the entire situation collapses instantly. No offense is pursued, no further action is taken, and their interest disappears completely. Everything they've been insisting on, public order, terrorism, quoted legal sections, just evaporates. That's not a coincidence. If any of those claims truly mattered, they wouldn't be dropped the moment the paperwork is completed. You don't abandon a real issue that quickly. This encounter was never about addressing a genuine problem. It was about getting his identity. Once that box was checked, there was nothing left to do because nothing else had ever been planned. All the legal language and threats beforehand weren't steps toward resolution. They were tools to pressure him into compliance. The whole interaction reveals how authority can be stretched when checks aren't applied, and how easily power can be misused when accountability is absent.
I speak to people in future.
But I didn't speak to anybody in any. She's a liar. I never told her to pee off. She's an absolute liar. I will be making a complaint. I will be suing. Thank you very much. What's your details?
6468.
From the station?
Yep.
Your details?
290.
From the station?
Yep.
And her details?
She'll find those out for you. I believe her name's Sergeant Wiltshire, or Wiltshire, my apologies.
Sergeant Wiltshire?
Yep.
And her numbers?
I don't know them.
Well, I need her numbers.
I don't know them.
We'll have to radio through then.
I don't know them.
She's the one that made the complaint. I need to make a complaint about the lying sergeant.
Just ask to speak to Sergeant Wiltshire. She works on Team 4 Patrol South at Ellen Road. That's all you'll need.
Well, can't you just radio through and ask for her details?
No, because she's not actually on duty at the moment, because she was in, as you said, she was in a civilian car in a civilian clothing, so she's...
You could ring the control room and ask what her caller number is.
I can't do that at the moment because I'm too busy, but you've got all the details.
But you weren't too busy to come and stop to talk to me?
Thank you very much.
Yeah? See you later, sausages.
I prefer bacon.
He explains that this situation is going to court because the entire encounter was based on claims that never actually happened. A sergeant said he swore at them, which he didn't, and other officers repeated it without checking the footage. Arrest threats were used to pressure him into giving his personal details. Once they got what they wanted, everything else simply disappeared. This isn't a simple disagreement. It's a clear misuse of power. When officers decide that a story is enough and evidence can wait, court becomes the only place to address it. When News Now Yorkshire asks for caller numbers, the response isn't a refusal, it's outright dismissal. Just minutes earlier, time wasn't an issue when they were stopping him, questioning him, threatening arrest, and demanding his details. That contrast is important. Officers were quick and decisive when they wanted something from him, but suddenly unavailable the moment he asked for accountability in return. Footage that could have cleared the allegation was ignored. Identification that could support a complaint was treated as optional. They escalate quickly, rely on threats, invent offenses, and push until they get compliance. Then they disengage. No further action is taken, no offense pursued, and no interest remains. And that's the clearest sign of all. If this had truly been about public order, terrorism, or any real concern, it wouldn't have ended the instant they got what they wanted. If you found this breakdown useful, like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and help keep accountability in the spotlight. I'm the Audit Assessor, and this was episode 11. See you next time.